자시들의 때 자자카라 조바한테 페베르 로보나 바더니 자시들의 쇼인지 상제적으로는 삼바 세미레서 원유제 세미게 드린 조바버 자시들의
Tashidelek, my Dharma friends, here and on the live stream, I am offering you the milk from this Buddha's begging bowl, which has arisen from loving kindness.
Page 1, the opening prayers in the yellow book. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Page 4. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness in the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Page 9. Namo, to the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence. I offer all appearance and existence arisen from the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with 5 omniscient wisdom, crown, ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind, primordially pure and unborn, as the unfathomable Dharmakaya. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma, of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles, according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
표자와 간다 다다 요바당 간다 대바다나 대빈 강막도 요 띵하고 다이 접소자 그러나 담모자와제데 저도 요한 키고 수도 동안에나 휴지지 약속 매고서 와지라서 생기도 너녀도 다지 아마 휴지는 저도 그래도 좀 말하더니 kuntuzangpo 모는 말이면 호 진짜 남자로 똑디지 해서 무슨 말이지 내 남자로 똑디지 양성을 내는 그거래 이는 남을 요래 그냥 이제 진짜 남자로 똑디지 똑디지가 제발 가래 똑바당 대바대로 내로 돌은 고대 예비 생기탑제 생기사지 각각 말에 나하고 손살라데라 똑바당데 마데 이 따오대로 똑디 가래리 이 따오대로 뭐나 답답나 이르메지들이 이러고 생기탑제 마가르 자르지라 내성성 그 생기탑제 토리스는 거 마도 조르지나들이 토리스는 거 대체 탑제라 저게이라지 우마서 막고 용기를 뒤에 상속세 비율이지 레미 십지다비 마가다다 마도로 우마서 막고 용기 양이 되고 레미 십지다비 다차로 좋아하는 지들이 노동지에 그 요래 대회를 또 담대마다 또 받는 데만이야 동물이 또디냐들이 이 요래 되게 정말 나요 상말에 일단 개발만 뭐죠 이들은 삼상 거래
So, my dear Dharma friends, today I will continue the explanations on the prayer of Kuntuzangpo. And in the text it says, Aho, hereafter, whenever a very powerful yogin. So, in our text here it says a powerful yogin. But there are other versions of the text where it says a realized yogin. So there are different versions here of this text, but I think in the end there's not so much difference here. So if we take the other version where it says a realized yogin, then what does that refer to? It refers to the realization of true reality. So someone who has realized true reality knows that there is no true difference between samsara and nirvana. So that would be the meaning of the text if we read the realized yogin. And then the other version that we find here says the powerful yogin. And what does powerful mean here? The powerful would mean that such a yogin is able to benefit all the sentient beings in the 6 realms by first guiding beings who are still suffering in the 3 lower realms to the 3 higher realms. And then teaching those beings who have already been born in the 3 higher realms the law of karma, cause and result, and by that liberating them. And then in the end, those who have been liberated, releasing them into the state of Buddhahood. So that would be the power of a powerful yogin. So in the end, I think there's not so much difference here, whether we say a realized yogin or a powerful yogin, but we have many scholars present here, so maybe they can reflect on that a little bit further.
또 내가 오하라는 데니 사당어서 가탕자 이제 쇼요 저랑게 하거든 dag samba top samba 재미된 이제 재미 내가 대비지 뭐 top 주습도 살을 대비지 뭐 탐치거든요 당부 산축 초도 속초리 톡기는 다만 뭐도 상마지가 버든 산축 생비들이甚至초사 나요래 그래서 민주부터 취지도 또 취지 취지도 되는데 이 또대에 대해서 다 취지도 지금 다 이미 봐 자연구로 취지도 대 토구를 대 토송아 또좀들에 매 가사라랑 로라가래서 살지도 sabjimma chapari tina kochodo muyo di jisina dagasambto dere somotini sebi ba jati ta sabjimma chapari dere ne raga jura dite asambatimi jati dere te dagasambto te jiki boto chiji joto dere sosoga dere sembe nerom thola ta saji sibji ni madogde semdero saji sem karo saji sibji ni madogde 다다서 이 차대에 되잖아. 잠깐만이 차대 요래다. 내려고 고온 거 요래. 되나. 주미를 바람산에서
So again, if we speak of the powers, then there are these 3 powers already mentioned the other day. So first there is the power of one's own intention, and that power consists of immeasurable love and immeasurable compassion. So that is exactly what the Buddhas of the 3 times have cultivated from the moment they generated bodhicitta until they attained complete awakening. So that is the power of one's own intention. And then there is the power of the Dharma Dhatu, and that refers to the absence of the duality of self and other. So here one one first realizes that the Buddha is inconceivable. One sees the qualities of the Buddha. And then one sees the qualities of immeasurable love and immeasurable compassion, and one sees that they are too inconceivable. And so that is the power of one's own intention, if one then oneself also gives rise to immeasurable love and compassion. And then that meets with the power of the Dharma Dhatu, which is the true nature of one's mind. So here one understands that one's mind and the Buddha are actually not different. And one sees this difference between free-floating water and ice blocks. So one sees this difference. And that is then to understand this nature of one's mind is then the power of the Dharma Dhatu.
로과르도와 다달라리다와 제 마음이 레짐레미 제의 메소랑이레 로과르도와 라리다와 데지 마토 소담도와 다 같이 레짐레 요사레요 레마리다 대성당 개바데들 소담도와 되게 대성주다 기록 라마다 다 지금 기록도 고도 소리들 소담도와지 마도 로도 속도 좀 됐다 주바들 좀 주고요. 출발. 마도 로도 로바도 체험할 레지면에 매 소담 똑같을까? 데이터가 이제 기록이 지금 다 뛰어간 것을 레지면에 요사래 요사 말이다. 대통령 개발이 출제 돼가지고 소담 또 소담 하나도 하고 이제까지 제가 요사래에서 대통령 요래들이 지금 말이에요. 요래랍다고 말이에요. 참 요래냐마 요래들 제가 요래야 되죠. 무슨 말 요래야 되라고 그래요. 그것도 연하면은 다들이 대통령이 당시 소담하고 와서.
So then it says, awareness radiant and free from delusion. So what does delusion here refer to? In general, there are we speak of like three types of understanding. So first of all, there is a non-understanding. So that means that one is not one does not know how to look inside, and one simply has no understanding. Then there is wrong understanding, and that is mainly what we call the barbarian or materialistic view. So that it refers to those people who do not believe in karma, cause and result. They don't believe in future lives, and they just say this life is just like a flower. It comes into being and then it disappears again. It's just like a flower. And then the third is there are also people who have a partial understanding. So they're just not sure. They have lots of doubts. They're not sure whether the pure realms of the Buddhas, the pure Buddha fields, whether they really exist, or whether the hell realms and so forth, whether they really exist or not. They have doubts about that. So these are the three types of understanding here, or non-understanding, wrong understanding, or partial understanding. And these are all delusions.
저미 르바랑산에 르바지 말이 다다다 아무 쪽도 저당 마비 이시라고요. 이시다 르바야 제바요. 김봉모 서를 보죠. 르바 이시 제모선 거의 몇개를 men기양들이 르바이 렌지는 가르리 랑그 데서 랑그 송지 랑그 세븐내로 또 소나 다들이 되니 르가 상지에 되되 서게 랑을 받은 거 추송한테 사제에서 가다 그래서 뭐 송타버려서 이 르를 상지에 대 말을 듣기 고원다 랑을 말했나 네 호란 창을 보여야지 랑 말도 나지이요 매바 하고만 나지이요래서 그때 그다 몇조지네 통수적이 와서지네 이제 나지이디디 이뭐 차오네 이 데레데레다 레도니가 차당이야 타마 성들 거기 상오지 니지네 성지
Then it says, with his or her awareness radiant. So what does this radiant awareness refer to? It refers to primordial wisdom, or as Khenpo Münzel taught it, primordial wisdom and a great intrinsic awareness are one and the same. So great intrinsic awareness means that one understands the nature or the way in which one's mind exists. And as we said before, that is the Buddha. If one has such an understanding, then one is a Buddha. That is what Samantabhadra taught in this prayer. And on the other side, if one does not have such an understanding, then that is samsara. Then one is a samsaric being. And here, mainly, one is confused in the duality of self and others, and one mainly believes one mainly believes what one can see with one's eyes. So one mainly focuses on one's eyes, and then from such an approach, there will be subtle hope and fear. And when they become stronger, then they will turn into attachment and aversion. So here again, the root of samsara is the dualistic grasping at self and other.
Dreaming that you are is she ram don't dream so. She don't want to dream it in a carry, that I gave Milarepa, Yamapadan from the Songari. Chain there is some mana, dreaming tops of Chila Sound. Chis one manari, Shang Lam dreaming your age. Dreaming mena, or sorry, and become who's sorry, she who's sorry, love your day. Sardi Nani Shema, Sardi Kariu Sardin, Rang Seven Chasamatan Governor. Semso, you're the number of Sardi. Oh, this Semi-Grani, Semi, Usarangi, all the Usarangi, Madol, Mari Mambata Basso, Regular Mari Torre, didn't put the soul salad, cut down the king watches as one. Rang or Gom to Shemmy Tony. Rang 7 year old daughter, Gom to Kakajago, Rang reported in the day, Gom to the Rex Sumla, Sanji, the Titi get out on a Kama, the Titi Sanji. Ya, the young Trinity, Toronto, the Sibji, Kitty Sanji, Kitty Sibji Charo. Then don't jump on Chibu, so no, get up Sanji, so Sanji Sinti, you get your door, they know.
So it says awareness, like it speaks of a radiant awareness. So awareness is, or intrinsic awareness is sometimes also said to be like a lamp or a fire, and the Milarepa.
Mapamus, I'm the room. Hey, Mapamus one. She read in the Rama, she had the Shabbat. She read in the party, read the Sir on the Rangs on the Rio, Maritashi, Mary. Oh, Yamni and Sanjishwa, Rang Rexum. Rang Sar, the Shekio. Rang Water, Rang Semsa, there is still Milarepa here. The Osarian may go on Sanardi. This is the truth of the Jamaican of the world.
So it was Mipam Rinpoche who said that our knowing intrinsic awareness is like a lamp. So it is able to illuminate itself. So it is a self-illuminating intrinsic awareness. And then if one possesses such a self-illuminating intrinsic awareness, then one will be able to see all phenomena as illusions. That's what Milarepa said. So also Milarepa taught one of his students, Paldabum, that the next, or what comes after this life, there will be a great darkness. So have you already prepared a lamp to guide you through that, through that darkness? And if you have not yet prepared such a lamp, then you should train in luminosity or clear wisdom. So when we look into our minds, then we will see this clarity, this luminosity on the inside. And if we are not able to do that, then it is like it is said here in the prayer, where it says it magically displays as awareness or unawareness. So again, here there is this magical display of awareness or unawareness. And if we are able to see that true reality, then that itself is meditation, and then no other practices are needed. So as long as we are in the state of such an awareness, then we are the Buddha. But if again confusions comes into our minds, then in the next second we are again a sentient being.
내가 제대 용어들이 말에 벗어나 렉소가 통송 라면 내려고 또 소리 타만 통송 통을 해야지 가리를 통화되라다다디 저 따윈 치바다 제 힘을 치마도 산지를 치바 니 우송 저 따윈 치마도 습지 섭지 산지 습지 니메바 또 담근데 봐 니메바 저 따윈 치마를 해야지 제 니베 치바 가리 어디랑은 남도는 전바쇼 대다 보자로 딜레사스나 이 준비 상황에부터 너무 영용이요 내가 차도 그랬잖아 땅에 정성을 하지 그때 나는 남도도 졸마 탑다 나 차로 너무 요래 저기잖아 네 저기지 뭐 준비를 하면 봐 보답도 또 맞지 봐 그도 준비를 하면 봐 니니 성적전이니 제가 소리 또 많이 타면 그냥 준비요 말이 그냥 많이 봐 준비 때문에 내 말에 되지 준비 들도 양 탐대 돼야 많이 봐 오늘들이 저도 또 많이 있는데 왜 또 많이 또 많이라 마또나 제가 또 많이 또 듣고요 말에 대회들이 맞다 딱히 기만이야지 이렇게 자료를 해야지.
So Milarepa also said once a true reality or the original state is realized, one sees everything. So seeing everything also refers to the two types of the Buddha's wisdom. So there is the wisdom that knows things just as they are, and there is the wisdom of that knows things in their various instances. So wisdom that knows things just as they are refers to the fact that the Buddha knows that there's no duality whatsoever between Buddhas and sentient beings. We now, when in the state where there is still grasping at a duality, there will always be suffering, and the result is that we are born in the 3 realms of samsara. That is when we do not know how to liberate the thoughts, conceptual thinking that arises in our minds. But the Buddha realizes the 2 truths, and the ultimate truth and the relative truth, and the duality or the non-duality of these 2 truths. So on the one side there is emptiness, and on the other side there is the law of karma, cause and result. And some people make the mistake that when they think of emptiness, they think that nothing exists. So they also think that there is no cause and result within emptiness. So that is a mistaken understanding. And on the other side, there are those people who truly believe cause and result, and they think they like kind of have a true existence. And that again is also a mistaken understanding. So these 2 have to go together. One has to understand that cause and result exist within emptiness.
Milarepa can form some just a Romatavia and Donamo Yayori. They are done the Tamato to watch away. Milarepa carry tongues on the Tambo Chuji Mam Tong Chuni Tong. Chuji Hoa and the Muniri is done the Mune Mare. Hoa the same dog bag trouble, same dog man and the ballet. Lower the trouble change around already. Chuji Mam Tong Chuni, same quality, Chuni de Mare.
So there are 3 views or 3 things that Milarepa saw. And the first is he saw that there are no phenomena, but he said, like, I do not see phenomena, I see a true reality.
Juji Mam Tong Chuni Tong. Basically, Juji Mam Tong, Conversation of the Muniri, Chuji, Shindeva, Muniri is the Chuji. Chuni and call the Madap and Charum the world. Charum and me chair my life, Hakoson. Oh, call the Muni Mares, Chuni Tong song. Coagram, Yimeva Hakoson.
So Milarepa said, I do not see phenomena, I see a true reality. So that means that Milarepa knows that samsaric beings do not truly exist, and also that samsara itself is not established or has no intrinsic like existence. And so he sees that sentient beings are only temporarily obscured, and they are only temporarily in a state where they have become like ice blocks, but that their true nature or true reality is being like water. So therefore he says, I do not see phenomena, I see true reality.
Ngao have Namsi de Mares, Namsi Daji Imodose, Namsi de Yeri over Yeshi, Namsi send Ngao and Yamba the Napalang Yeres, the Daji Imodose, Yeshi did Yeshi did Yene over Yeshi, Tamsi Yeshi, Yeshi did Napara, Chukar Kori, Yeshi, Chukar, what you want there. Namsi Mato Yeshi Tong.
And then next, what Milarepa said is, I do not see consciousness, I only see primordial wisdom. So consciousness is this notion of an I, where there is a duality of self and other. And Milarepa has realized that this notion of an I is in reality only primordial wisdom. And this primordial wisdom is just like space. So primordial wisdom in Tibetan is Yeshe, and Ye refers to existing from beginningless time. So therefore it is called primordial. And the second syllable, She, refers to the all-knowing capacity. So therefore it is an all-knowing wisdom, a primordial wisdom. And that again is nothing else than the Dharmakaya. So Milarepa says, I do not see a consciousness, I see a primordial wisdom. So he does not see any, or there's no, in his mind there's no duality between self and other. And then out of that he also says, I do not see sentient beings, I only see Buddhas. So we all know that, we have heard that many times, that sentient beings are Buddhas. So we recite these words, we say these words, but sometimes it is still difficult for us to really understand that, to really see that. We still perceive sentient beings as sentient beings. But we have to understand here that sentient beings are really just like temporal ice blocks that can be melted. So therefore, Milarepa here says, I do not see phenomena, I see true reality. I do not see consciousness, I only see primordial wisdom, and I do not see sentient beings, I only see Buddhas. So it all comes down to the fact that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature. There's not a single sentient being that has no Buddha nature. And this Buddha nature itself is already the Buddha. And so that is that is what one could also see, one can also call Kuntuzangpo on the level of the ground. And then there is the level of the path, so in between. And here sentient beings are like temporarily in the form of ice blocks. But then on the level of the result, these ice blocks have been melted and have been have become water again. So this is how we can also understand the Kuntuzangpo on the level of the ground, the path, and the fruition.
song de la tini da yin yin me wa tini chi yong di sam song nen jong go yo le song long go yo go le de lam da gi yin de song de qiu na da se ji da ye yu sa chok se de se da lo sa chok se de yu ji le de de ke dai di da de mu po de chi ma ti xie de ni ya song da cha to hu yo be na o de de song long go le de be na la de gom ne da de ju li di pa ta de o teri padoni de sai kor dang ta pate khangri song o ye da go do che ne ta dai te ro go ma da te ne teri song lo ko de pado ta bo ri ni ta te juli sha cha ge juli de ten ja song ta ko dang de te ro ko dang ta pate lam song ne song se lam song lo ko re te ka le ju tok de chu ko ye tok chu ko o de la teri sa chu ko teri 랑 강나 간들 때려도 노아로 소치도 걱정 거리 좀때 찍도 들으더니 사중심 나만이 좀으로 거지 좀 들으더니 다 소장하서 람마 저는 또 람되는 여우나 들 답답들이 톡 죽고 톡 상하게 되지 곧 죽고 쏘는 거톡 죽어야지 라마 교신이 담지 톡이 죽어야지 톡 죽어야나 다사 그 로마데 세비제 죽어야 돼. 얘는 작롱도 차대 반 시기요만 레좀데다 시기요만 레좀데 남데 하고네 늘 남르마 아주도 속상하서 남르마 하고네 이 작롱도 가리 님은 그러잖아. 저 쉬운 거요 베데다를 뛰었으면 모상 야송
Then it says in the text, all who hear it will achieve enlightenment within 3 lifetimes. So all who hear this prayer of Kuntuzangpo, so beings hear this prayer from their lamas, from their spiritual teachers. And the spiritual teachers, body, speech, and mind are the 3 kayas of the Buddha. The body of the spiritual friend or lama is the nirmana kaya. So it is the emanation body that trains disciples or sentient beings according to their capacities. So in that way, the body of the Lama is the Nirmana Kaya. Then the speech of the Lama is the Sambhoga Kaya. So the Lamas and spiritual friends are the ones who teach us that the duality of self and other does not exist. And by that, they teach us all the qualities of the Buddha's teachings. And when we have received such teachings, then we will be able to ourselves cultivate bodhicitta. So when we, for instance, practice a yidam deity, then through that practice we can purify the habitual tendencies of our body. And when we then die and reach the bardo state, then because we have purified the habitual tendencies of the body, we can in the bardo arise as the yidam deity. So that is one of the methods or practices that the teachers teach us. So the speech of the lamas is the Sambhoga Kaya. And then the mind is the Dhammakaya. And that is nothing else than the Buddha. So all the minds of our spiritual teachers are not different from the Buddha. So on the level of the Nirmana Kaya, they teach us also all these different methods and paths, such as the Pratimoksha, the Bodhisattva, and the mantra path. So the mind of the teachers is the Dhammakaya, and that is also actually true for all the disciples of such a Lama. Also their minds are the Dharmakaya, but the difference is that they do not know that. And therefore their minds have become like ice blocks that need to be melted. And so in the prayer it says they will achieve enlightenment within 3 lifetimes.
기와 선생 온창 자주인데 투바타도 강해야 되나. 그러니까 추그 자니 로아를 좀 감수심이 선을 저기 좀 막아 튀다더니 이 사지가 특히 뭐만 거 떴다. 이제 대체기 보여 떴다. 람들이 사지가 그래서 사초든지 특집에 이 떴기를 되는지 그래서 초아지를 되게 뭐요래. 초아지는 되니 다다 빼는다다 엄마 라마 같이 다 왕만 뭐 마셔서 다 가르쳐 버려 들라고 마게 왕이 얘기나 다이 왕대 주네 주 강양 냠리 마탑나야 이와 드니들이 왕을 미용성 내성도 내가 왕이 저거 주 가려내 쉬어 쉬어 가려 폐결해 되나 산이 빠도 당보니 샘 무엇당 치면 나와 대도 제가를 봐시고 그래 르드 좀 차대 이거 이따고 돼 대적이 뭐 대서 왕정이 까 들이지 내 성을 왕 주가에 주로 싸우 세는 하고들이 되게 우성을 이 와도 무시 좋고 소매 무시 잘들 와도 이제 무시돼 근데 추소 저거 저 유라 자식 매지성인데 이 타마 드림 걸 동네 속고요 이런 왕쇼고도 롱 가리는 대셔대로 막 이제 되리다 봐야 돼.
So it says here they will achieve enlightenment within 3 lifetimes, and so that is because the sound of the Dharma pervades them. So at that point, then again, the 2 powers come together. The power of the compassion and enlightened intention of the Buddhas, and the power of one's own Buddha nature. And sometimes people ask me whether they should take empowerments or the different empowerments that are being offered. And some lamas even say that one should not take too many empowerments if one is not able to also do the practices that come along with such empowerments. But I myself have looked into the texts, and there it actually says that when you receive an empowerment, even though you might not do the practices, then still you will achieve enlightenment within 7 lifetimes. So therefore I always tell my disciples that one should really receive all the Dharma that that is offered, that one can receive. And one of the reasons is that in the first bardo, so there are different bardo stages, but in the first bardo, after death, one's body will become illusion-like, and one will have and one will remember the teachings one has received. So one has this a clairvoyance through which one will be able to remember all the words that have been taught and will understand their meaning. So therefore, I always tell people to receive empowerments.
왕 마주성이들은 도다 요리 다 같단 말이에요. 같이 그 왕내 깡통도 시합하 여기 담색도 막 강성놈도 여기 이 여기 체들이 저 왕제 통나티 담색도 송냠서 리고 요래지. 이 마지는 뭐 체들을 제가 톡톡 말이지. 이 체도 뒤까마 동네 체. 오 달람이 뒤에서도 당연히 냠이 제고리서 대장 So Yami Chet, Yami commanded the Chet, one major unity of technology, Tata Zoson, or that kind of something that I one major in somebody, not go down. That's the young money, young sure the human of the young thing was in what they was super one that got it Yami Toro, Matoro. I'm going to judge to somebody, don't you worry about the one sure that way already. Some number get out me already. You are to that pretend you are principally get the own Yamton educate song, there's the Yamton in the preview already. Get it out, go down to the Karen Chula, sorry, maybe they were on one show or two show already. You are already.
But those lamas who tell their disciples not to take any empowerment, there's also benefit to that, because they say that because they don't want disciples to just receive an empowerment and then just leave the practice. So not just like they just like throwing away the practice. They just take one empowerment after the other, but they don't think about practicing what they have received. So when lamas say you should not just take any empowerment, then what they mean is that one also has to do the practice. Because if one does not do the practice, then there's no way one can receive or achieve the result in this lifetime. So therefore, by saying that, they encourage their disciples to practice. And they want them to keep their samayas purely. But then what can also happen is that some disciples then think of that, and when they hear like something like, 50 empowerments will be offered, then they're just overwhelmed and discouraged, because they think I will never be able to practice all these deities and practice according to all these empowerments. So for that reason, then I tell them to receive all the empowerments. So in a way, both ways, whether the lamas tell people not to receive any empowerment, or when I tell them to receive them, both come from a mind, from an altruistic mind, a wish to benefit sentient beings. So both have their purpose. The one tells people to actually do the practices and to keep their samayas, and the other helps them not to feel overwhelmed and just shut down their minds, but to actually go and receive the empowerments. So both are true and beneficial.
Nida Zayas Mam, Datang Sayo Yuan, Nima Donja Long Producer, Rosaga Cup, the Chiga Cup, Tetam Shirakani, Tatama Jins Atibotanity, Nida Zayas Man, there's a long time by the young Jesus Corner, the name Shena, the young Ping Jim was so you say, Teto, come to the safety, some taking the name we already, Kachi, he got with it after Mam the Jago, so Datan Sarin, the Hunchipoti or Cabri, he Mam Jago, the Ma don't your long pretty.
So then the text tells us when to recite the prayer. And it says, during a solar or lunar eclipse, during an earthquake, or when the earth rumbles, or at solstices, or the new year, you should visualize Kuntuzangpo. So these are the times where we should recite the prayer. So solar and lunar eclipse, and then also at the new year. And not only the new year, but all days in the calendar that we regard as special. So all days of celebration, all special days, we should recite this prayer of Kuntuzangpo. And in the text, there are many reasons given how the benefit arises from reciting the prayer at these occasions. And so it includes like all special days, days of celebration, but also days when we have great fear, like for instance, when there's an earthquake and so on.
Rani Kuntuzangpo ji songore. Andi ji rimdo tongtari Kuntuzangpo de ji dima hachiga chagatok de kariga lade ji rimde la tini namba sawa rangi takwa ngajarti masomiyore sar ta ting somjene. Di ji rimda ya hakodo ngajarti bate. Ngajarti Rani Kuntuzangpo rela mare tatake tangna. Oh, ta rangi de ye Kuntuzangpo rangi sende desingbo. Chikwa chikchawre. Takoso papa nyami chikwa kamni. Tangbo de chikwa chikchawre sanji sumi. Pena rukwa koneke lasa chodan chakchaware hete kama. Rukwa koneke hakoso. Chal chadi kogu tela kore. 당부 문이 난다에 발라시 토마타모 세든지 직발해시 그래 나는 내로 제외 거의 장하시 출 중주 제외 웅상제데 다미스로 초다들이 당부 상초초도 토기 빠져 다미스로 토세 가만고도 상제도 출 중주 제외 웅상제데 나는 내로 제외 거의 장지 그러나 내로 이제 누가 꺼내게 우리지 작자도 봐라 작살로 내 상사와래 열 고지치 뭐 요래 새 위제대 좀 봐요 뭐다 아니지 누가 봐
Die hago son da quieren las salvadan
살와 딱 빠팅 봐서 살와 딱 빠팅 봐 띠봐서 거다니들이 띠봐서 기지고래.
So it says here in the prayer, you should visualize Kuntuzangpo, and that refers to the generation stage. So so sometimes people ask me about the generation stage, and then I usually tell them that there are three important points about the generation stage. One is clarity, one is purity, and the third is stability. And especially the third, stability, is extremely important. So when we generate a deity, then also what we call the pride of the deity arises. So we investigate whether we ourselves are actually the deity or not. And then we come to the conclusion that we are just one and the same. And then this divine pride or pride of the deity arises in our minds. And there's a story of a Tibetan master called Drukpa Kunlek. And he once went to the famous Jovo temple in Lhasa to do prostrations. And when he arrived there, he looked at the Jovo, it's like a statue, and he said, at first, you and me were the same. So he was referring to the fact that the minds of the Buddha and sentient beings are the same. And then he said, but then I was lazy and roamed about in samsara, and you applied great effort and became a completely awakened Buddha. So I, the lazy Drukpa Kunlek, prostrate to you the Jovo with great effort. So this also teaches us, or Drukpa Kunlek here teaches us that at first, in the beginning, sentient beings and Buddhas are one and the same.
Tereni Nangajati Mandila, Rani Kuntuzanpo Chido, Rani Kuntuzanpo Rela Mare, Taki Tang. Taki Tang Trita, some decision boy, no chops over the Sunday, Taki. The decision boy is same the Yore, same the Gare, Tata Daji Unity, when a chatty, Chabok, shut down my yes, shut down mine, he chatty yarn on with some tongue Yore. Chatty Mansan do them or Chattanore, Chay Chipare, the Yah or something. Yet the decision boy, Tata, Kuntuzanpo Chipare. There are long was Daji Nidi, Mevagoni, Sabat because she did of the Pingos of the Dandi or Mari. Dandi Mena, that is the Sabat because the big lord. That was some don't need and he gets to Doctor. Oh, not with some millions. Not somebody and he get Kadu generally. The Japanese of your lungs, love you, Chiparamas. Some Rangachi already. Then I got the mad.
So here one has to give rise to this divine pride. So in order to do that, one has to investigate whether one is like equal, the same to the Buddha, or whether there's a difference. And that has actually already been resolved by the Buddha when he said, Buddha nature pervades all sentient beings. So it is already resolved that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature. And only temporarily they are under the influence of the duality of self and other and self-grasping. So it is just like with the nature of water. So the nature of water is this one and the same. There's only a single nature of water, but then it appears in different forms. There is pure water that we use for drinking and so on, and then there's polluted water that we use to flush the toilet. So on the level of the ground, there's only one water. It has one essence, but then it can be used in different ways. And in the same way, like the Buddhas have no dualistic grasping, no self-grasping, and only the wish to benefit sentient beings. So if we also, when our self-grasping diminishes, then there will be immeasurable love and immeasurable compassion for sentient beings. So what we need is this union of emptiness and compassion. That comes about when compassion arises in our minds, then we will understand that we are actually one and the same with the Buddhas. There's no difference between the Buddhas and ourselves. And then we can cultivate this divine pride of the deity. So that is what we, like the path we have to follow.
There the Kuntuzanpo cheju chok song matangdi yaram le mono na song ore tenti nyoda na ko logo yode Kuntuzanpo cheju chok de pasar ra ma no 그렇게 기본이 싫어요. 레레지도 싫어버렸대. Kuntuzanpo 는 체주 쪽도 가야 있는데 나 삼만 돈이 정말이나 내인도 뭐 등이고요. 그래. Kuntuzanpo 공부 체주 쪽송 그때 가게 기본이 싫은 거죠. 좋아야 되는데 이 공부 알아. 세다 세토도 or 이내 마음 나살네 책대 공부하는 거래. 야 이거는 이제 양식이 좋다고 말해 다를 보이. 이 랑을 삼로다고 다 삼로다. 랑을 설명 니다 잘다. 그래서 뭐 제주 쪽들 맞아서 삼로다. 이제 봐. 얘네들이 도마는 것도 다 산쪽들 이런 거성데 코르스기 그 셉다 세발 왔더니 나는 다시 봐. 이제 봐도 제시를 내고 이제 봐더니 이제 말을 빨리 안 봐도 상하더니 네 양명네 가장 공기보다 봐 망보요래 안기보이시 여기부터 당요래 내가 맞더니 님마요 걸어봐라 난 생각하게 되라고 쌍송 대 시에는 그래서 공남당 도는가 대시에는 사례도 좀 보는 거지 요래 내가 인양송인데 랑게 초라가들이 야와래 꾸두자고 제주도 꾸두자고 야골소나 자제진 땡자고 수장수 고토고 말을 랑게 고토고 말이지 철랑 토로 철교는 제로 싸우는 따구나 뒤에는 랑게랑 토르골로 싸우는 따구나 소화까지 제도 대가 되는 공나 말라 로렌시 대시에 초로 되는 애들은 쇼요 호지
And then in the text, it is often said that this prayer of Kuntuzangpo teaches the 6 distinguishing qualities of Kuntuzangpo. So at first I didn't really know what these 6 distinguishing qualities are. So therefore, I asked Khenpo Yeshe about it, and then he wrote me a note where these 6 distinguishing qualities are listed. And so, according to that list, they are that Kuntuzangpo is elevated from the ground, appearing to itself, distinguishing. Liberated upon distinction, not arisen from other, and abiding in its own state. So Khenpo just gave me this list of these 6 distinguishing qualities, but because he was far away, there was not really an opportunity for me to ask him to explain this any further. But then I thought about them, and I approached them. I approached them from the level of practice, and then yesterday I told Khenpo what my understanding of these qualities is, and he said it is that is a proper understanding, and I could teach it here today. But this is just my personal understanding, and it would be very good if you could engage in discussions with Khenpo Yeshe and also Khenpo Tenzin and Khenpo Tubsang about the meaning of these qualities of Kuntuzangpo. So the first of these qualities says Kuntuzangpo is elevated from the ground. And when I thought about that from the perspective of practice, then I think that it means that from the moment on when one has given rise to bodhicitta, one is elevated from ignorance. And so the intrinsic awareness is elevated because it is able to look inwards with mindful awareness.
다 새로 다시고 매 새로 다시도 알아도 다시도 새로 따는 담기 희바데 랑그 제시 봐요 바데 사람이 하고도 이제 봐 랑을 낭지라 뭔가 다 제시 시합도 다 제시도 뭐도 하고 랑을 낭지를 제시를 받아 하고서 하고 랑을 낭 되게 세다 제들 제시 오버가고 뭐 진짜 제시 매버거 중요 가가가가 계속으로 세다 세디 세토도 저들 세다 세디 제시 오버가서 남도 가인아들이 생각도고요래 가만히 이거도 지금이 막 같은 남도 라디오 바콘도요 세다 세디 대행사래 세토도 저들이 다 제시 오버가서 남도 그네 남이 책도고도 작론 처리셨다고 그러는데 어디 세토도 좋지. 그리 이내 마음들 이 말이 랑 생물에 랑 생물에 여러분 니 랑이 시라고 봐지 시라고 뭐래. 라사가 내서 그때 라사데 저들랑 게 지시랑 게 생물 대신 황계라고 그런 라를 랑삭지 바테레 dolor 바데레 대토월들이랑 좋아지 제주 쪽에 강보 예레 바 랑고는 난 세다 지 시소도 tor 이내 마음나사네 책에다 청을 하고 뭐 이들은 죽으로 저들은 가게 셔초송나 총지당송 이런 쉬워야지.
So the first quality is elevated from the ground, and that means that our intrinsic awareness is elevated from the ground because it is able to look inwards with mindful awareness. So it knows that this mindful awareness, this clear mindful awareness, and then appearing to itself means that one understands the qualities of having mindful awareness and the faults of not having mindful awareness. So that also, that is appearing to itself. Then distinguishing means that that one distinguishes between confusion and liberation, and that also includes an understanding that the ice block of sentient beings' minds can be melted. And then the fourth is liberated upon distinction, and the fifth is not arisen from other, and not arisen from other means that one's mindful awareness is not new. One's own awareness is already self-cognizing, self-illuminating, intrinsic awareness. And then finally it says abiding in its own state. So this is this refers to one's Buddha nature. This is the quality of one's Buddha nature. So when there is self-recognition, that is called abiding in its own state. So this is my understanding of these 6 points, and I told it to Khenpo Yeshe last night, and he said, or he gave me permission to teach it in this way today.
산지 심지가 되게 이제적으로 뒤도만 동거리 타적 토도 제바지 이 타데 가래게 추고리는 저거들이 다 추고리 냐미들이 다 추고요 냐미들이 다 추고다 상통도 따와는 콘디니가 더 받직정 말 받들이 선 라미 심지 토는 상통도 가비들이 하고 타적 토도 제바지 시 기복의 배경이요 말이 우리 좁아다 다 좁아 뭐라도 다 좁아돼 다 주소는 댕조 토대 자와 댕조 다들 동치 모여래 이거는 뭐고 다돼 뭐랑 토도 좁아 특성내는 뭐랑 토도 좁아 뭐랑 토도도 랑 세우는 거.
랑어?
뭐랑 토도도 랑 세우는 거 좋아해. 뭐랑 토도 줘봐. 타지 토도 줘봐는 코도 이거 사지 생기 이메와 따와 되는지 내리 이메가 타지 토도 줘봐. 타지 토도 줘봐.
Can you help me to translate it? So I think I need help from Khenpo Yeshe. So Rinpoche is speaking about the 3 words or 3 lines that strike the vital point. And the first is...
More on Toto Jeba is introducing itself to...
More on Toto Jeba, 타지 토도 줘봐.
Lari.
댕조 토도 줘봐.
Lari. Mm-hmm. So first is Ngorong Totujeva. It's introducing one's own mind. It's either one's own mind nature or Buddha nature. That's just Ngorong Totujeva, introducing itself to its own. Tajik Totujeva, Rinpoche is saying that this is related to the will. Tajik Totujeva is settled in a single point. Means samsara and nirvana are not separate two things. The Dengtro Totujeva, realization that settled on the liberation, means which says takes time to practice to settle in these things, the realization or confidence that settled in the liberation. These 3 are the vital point, or 3 words striking the vital points.
타지 토도 줘봐 대다. 르바테는 랑오 렉디는 렉다 말이 제발데 타 줘가지고 지금은 돈 거예요. 타지 토도 줘봐 되는 거 가리 타 주고 그랬대. 고마 냠소리는 냠냠 그는 타 주고 그래. 네 말아래서 센터 따위 줘봐이 저 타 주저 가디 주고 그래. 랑랑 타 주고 그래. 이거 타제야요 말이지. 랑랑 타 주나 곰장을 강에 생나. 상상도 땅고 주나. 이들이 sem devad natunga mango nato mati teji badle tani je pasa sale tri yungre sawo de yungre yore titre ram yi ke tere sawo de yi chi ke yungre yi ta chu ba le ti pe de ne mama yin je long bu mo se ma ti da si ti ko so ne 이렇게랑 고소마 고소네 이기는 뭐 저게 콩 대랑 이게 다 조준다고 대를 안 한 거 따라서 다 조돼 이게 뭐 대게 돼서 나 좋아지네 또 인지로 말해 대를 좋아되려고 뭐 남바야 메인세 가려 미 냠이 가요 제만 용 옛날 생각 보고 대만 걸로 와야지 대를 사기 좋게 대만 걸로 오네 Jadi mesti kau jawab ni macam lah. Jadi kau jawab, jadi ni macam kau jawab, cuma jawab, besok macam kau jawab, jadi bang, jadi sebab thari cuci, jadi jawab macam tu, tapi mau nonton na mengan kerana tu, tak mari, kian macam kau macam kian macam apa sunam ni. Jadi mahu kita pada jadi juga ya orang itu, tak cang tak nonton mentok dia siapa ini, aku semua. Oh tiada tak cuci, orang tak cuci.
So the second of these statements, where it says deciding upon one thing and one thing only. This means like resolving this difference between like awareness and non-awareness. And that has to be done through one's experience and one's practice. One has to resolve that for oneself. And that is done when the view of special insight has been introduced. So at that point, one does not engage in any thoughts about the past and the future, but naturally comes to this understanding that this is it. So one really resolves this point here. And once there was a girl who came to see me and asked me a question. And she said she is not a Buddhist, and she also doesn't practice anything like any Buddhist, doesn't do any Buddhist practice. But she said she read a few books on Mahamudra and Dzogchen. And then, having read these books, she just sat down and meditated. And then there was this point where she was feeling very happy and her mind felt very clear. And then she told me that at that point she thought, okay, this must be it. This must be this realization of Mahamudra or Dzogchen. And then she came to me and asked me whether that was a mistake, whether like her understanding of the true nature was mistaken. And I told her, no, it is not mistaken. And it happens that people who have not practiced much in this life, but have done lots of practice in their previous lives, just naturally and very easily come to such an understanding.
Ngama sonang rangi, ngama chubangbo kore, disi sonang de yore, yongrang tata yongkare, morang tete lone tete, goa de, donggoa na maja, tamang gongyore, tene gongja, gongyore, tata gongjaya de la, goa, nyoa, topa, samung gongore. Goa sa 같이 소리 나만 대서 내 고성 야용을 배가 말에 양도 용 거래 용이 되니 쪼라면 가면 따와 고마 쪼바 쓰면 돼 고마 쪼람던데 따와 롱렉던데와 고마 냠용던데와 쪼바 저 초던데와 송 쪼라면 세서 그래 쪼람 탐지 거니들이 공지 냠냠 로고는 좀 나와는데 때문에 왜 공자도 공자들이 봐요. 그런 거 말이에요. 그 뭐하는 게 되다가 어디 곰 이게 통 고아치를 용이 공자 곰장은 된 양용제 다 라병 거래. 대로 땅에 다 좋은데 대로 하자 공부를 대로 다다들 사막과야 집어버려. 나왜 고아치 양다양도 양도 곰자고 곰들 곰아냐 명당대와 이제 좀 말해. 냠서 용어서다 남도 제성 내가 그 뒤시가 하고서 하고를 공잡소 때다 라송 도차송 우타위야 명대래 뭐마냐 명단데 대다고 지를 가려는데 아치 보여면 다다다들이 고병 또 점점만 고아상 그 배경 말이
Some people who realize the view, they do that because they have been practitioners in their previous lives and they have accumulated a great amount of merit. So that was the case with this girl who had read the books about Mahamudra and Dzogchen and then came to this understanding. Generally, in terms of practice, there are kind of three stages. First, there is an understanding, and that means that when a Lama, a spiritual friend, teaches us the Dharma, that we gain an understanding of what has been said. But then we have to apply that understanding and apply it like to our experience. So that is the second step. And then thirdly, we have to realize it. So practice means understanding, experiencing, and realizing. So therefore, it is not enough just to understand something, but we really have to apply it and come to an experience of it. And therefore, also Milarepa said that in terms of practice, it is very important to connect like our understanding to experience.
Kuntuzanpo chapa chapsa yo mari ije Kuntuzanpo de chuko de namkha tawe de namkha chikpo ba ye namkha de ti yong tamje chap de yo re de ba sa do sa chang sa de do de do yo de to do re ko to ma ni ge ma chap no to ya yo mari ti yong ni ga chap de yo re ije Kuntuzanpo chap de yo re lam Kuntuzanpo ta ngo so ta ta din li semji je ngu do wa ro so ji so si semde 다 성에다 semde sem 사람들이 그거는 뭐라 얘기도 돼요. 또 Kuntuzanpo 속에 돌아 대이人的 상계에 말이 진짜 거기서 다른 거다 도고 요래. 다 돌래 되게 다 주나. 진짜 Kuntuzanpo 뭐니 Kuntuzanpo 뭐니 Kuntuzanpo 아니 제발만도 그 sem냥이 곰잡고 가면 Kuntuzanpo래 타만 Kuntuzanpo래 처럼 가는 않고 말이 그게 독설게 그게 잽다지죠 잽다지에 따라 잽다치서 잽다 가래치거든 그게 그 상기로 그게 sem지 차로 그때 네 삼세들로 때 도처리 싸우듯이 각하고 저거요 그래 네 잽다치서 받을 거라 저거 그래 그 대시 봐요 이런 거 뭐만 명단 되고 다 돼.
So what we call the ground Kuntuzangpo is the fact that one's own mind or is nothing. So what is called ground Kuntuzangpo is nothing else but one's own mind, and that mind is just like space in that it pervades everything. There is not a single thing that is not pervaded by space. Even a stone, which appears to be very solid, can be crushed, and then there is space again. So every single phenomena is pervaded by space. And that is the mind of sentient beings. Or that is the nature of the mind of sentient beings. So we have to realize the view so that we see that there is no difference between Kuntuzangpo and one's own mind. So as said before, sometimes we have this understanding. So we have, like it is said in the text, like awareness and there's awareness or non-awareness. So at one moment we might have this understanding, and then we are a Buddha. But in another moment, when we lack such understanding, then we are sentient beings. And that is also what is meant with this third point among the 6 distinguishing qualities of Kuntuzangpo, where it says it is distinguishing. So this is the distinction between being a Buddha in one moment where there is realization or the realization of the view, and being a sentient being in the moment where there's no such realization.
Please wait just a moment for announcements. All right, thank you. All right, just a reminder on departures. For those of you who are in rooms, if you could just have your
Oh 아호. 이 Kuntuzangpo 송 이 Kuntuzangpo 이미 이들이 대통 요미 대야 남이 따바라 대통 매나 이 Kuntuzangpo 이미 대통 요미들이 이 대통 때라더니 그다음에 그 Kuntuzangpo 레스 이시지 어때 그 좀더 생기라 그래 이게 레 문에 Kuntuzangpo 다 다른 거는 야용는데 이 시대 빠다 이 시대 뭐 어쩌고 하고 그래 이까지 강을 아까도 뭐 이해하고 막 매해하고 그래 저거 색깔처럼 자고도 뭐 매선 이 싸우면 이 싸우고 매싸우고 말이 처음 말해야 될게 처음 뭐는 말해서 아까도 뭐 말해서 말이 어저 처음 Kuntuzangpo 또 타마 Kuntuzangpo 좋아요 말이 갖다 주행 주거든요. 책까지 계속 그러고 주행 주고 뭐니 저거 대다 찍고 찍자고 돼야지. 빡 Kuntuzangpo를 고고해야지.
So it says in the prayer that one should visualize Kuntuzangpo. So then the question comes up whether oneself is Kuntuzangpo or is not Kuntuzangpo. And some have doubts about that, and others don't. But in fact, there is no doubt that we are Kuntuzangpo. And Kuntuzangpo yin means
이미 대통령이 Kuntuzangpo 이는 많이 적지구나. 자기가 저것도 이 되는 틀리더라. 아 이미 이라고 그래. 이라고 그래. Kuntuzangpo 이 랍도고 매일적인 대통령이요 말이야. 대통령은 되다. 다 대통령 이디로 대통령 또 먹었다 왔대. 오, 뭐 그때 뭐 말해서 그러다. 이 대통령 그 말해서 비터서도 Kuntuzangpo 많이 받아서 대통령 때 그 잡으면 그봐 그런 Kuntuzangpo 연발라 대통령 그 첫사마도 되는 전화번호 놓고한테 랑을 나고 제절면 랑 이제 Kuntuzangpo 연주하면 랑그 값도 되니다. 나디 로를 들어왔대 미속사는 이 Kuntuzangpo에서 이제 Kuntuzangpo 좋아하면 봐 하고 그러잖아. 랑 Kuntuzangpo 다다다 접진스 사바치 미게 되오나 막 Kuntuzangpo 내래시 본다고 내 말에 니가 요 말아. Kuntuzangpo 이야 요 말이. Kuntuzangpo 나왔다 그래. 매일 요 말이. 이 요 말이.
Okay, so about this doubt whether one is Kuntuzangpo or not. So on the level, on the relative level, if someone would ask us, are you Kuntuzangpo or not, then we should say, yes, I am Kuntuzangpo, and really believe in that. But on the ultimate level, like when one is able to place one's, or to, if one is able to place one's awareness in the ultimate view, then in this ultimate view there is again no like being Kuntuzangpo or not being Kuntuzangpo, because there's no duality whatsoever. So so one's intrinsic awareness is Kuntuzangpo, and there's this level of the ground. Yeah, so on the conventional level, when we are asked whether we are Kuntuzangpo, we have to say yes, we are Kuntuzangpo. But then on the ultimate, and we should not have any doubts about that. But on the ultimate level, again, we cannot say that we are Kuntuzangpo or we are not Kuntuzangpo. There's no duality, no distinction between that. So if when Rinpoche asks us, "Are you Kuntuzangpo?" Then we should say, "Yes, I am Kuntuzangpo." But in fact, we both are Kuntuzangpo. So we all have the same basis. But the only difference is that we are temporarily obscured. We temporarily don't realize that we are Kuntuzangpo. And there is a quote saying, "Primordial wisdom controlled by mindful awareness is the continuity of intrinsic awareness." So in this quote, it speaks of primordial wisdom, mindful awareness, and intrinsic awareness. So in fact, all these three terms have the same essence. The essence of one's intrinsic awareness is primordial wisdom. So primordial wisdom is really an important and pervasive term here. And it is also, there's another quote saying, "All Buddhas or all victorious ones are the same in the expanse of this primordial wisdom." So, these three terms, primordial wisdom, intrinsic awareness, and mindful awareness, are of the same essence.
이히바라 세 그지 차로 라라라 잡타만 보여라 난 이히데 치는 줄 알고 말이 이히들은 저 속으로 말이 예내 요배 예히다 탑재집에 히히다 이히데 남카가 빼서 남카가 빼난 생변 남카다서 요건 남카요 어찌 말이 가사가 주보데 빼야잖아 셀리데 누지지 이게 빼난 규지 생이게 샘지된 남카 빼리 대답을 차대요. 그 용왕아들 용왕아, 라지 마미바가는 용왕아, 민수로 시가 차도 대로 그들 보면 머리 욕들어가지고 대서고요. 대다 하고도 미마미 제바데 다디요 미거든. 다디도 그도 사줘서 그 용들을 내 또 사바스미지나들이 다이고 말이 되게 라브래 담을 좀 아껴도 가리를 우리 소소로 쳐라들은 사바체 비교로 가서 다음에 맞춰야 돼. 이 세상에서 시와디 왔을 때 다음에 말이 너무 말이 다음에 노래요. 그래서 사바체 비교에서는 이 kuntuzanpo kuntuzanpo rangi 이문제는 사바체 비교 sem진들의 비반의 데베 세명의 사바체 비반의 rangi 차지 요래 상계의 난지 상송나 사바체 비비로 제를 kuntuzanpo 라기 차자 되라고 차요래 대래들이더라 그 대시요잖아 대시요처럼 남도 담지 이실요도래 무슨 담지 매력요도래 왕저지
So on the path, when we practice the generation stage, then we visualize the form, visualize the body of the deity. And here there are these three sattvas, or three beings, the first of which is the Samaya being. And this Samaya being then takes on the form of a Yidam deity, and there are so many different Yidam deities. They with so many different like implements and body colors and so forth. But in the end, they all like they on the basis they all consist of this primordial wisdom. And primordial wisdom is just like a space. And in so primordial wisdom is just like space. And this space is all pervasive. It pervades sentient beings, and it also pervades all phenomena. So also if we look at one person, then there's the body and of that person, like kind of the outer appearance, and then there is the mind, and the mind's nature is space-like. So when we abide in such an understanding, then the five afflictive emotions ripen into the five wisdoms. So that is the difference between the having not been ripened and having been ripened. So in the non-ripened state, there are the five afflictions, and when they have ripened, then the five wisdoms appear. So that is basically what the prayer of Kuntuzangpo teaches from the beginning to the end, this difference between ripened and not yet ripened. And this ripening into the five wisdoms comes about when there is no self-grasping. And how do we get there? That how do we eliminate self-grasping? Self-grasping is eliminated through loving kindness. When there is loving kindness, there is no self. So that is what I always tell people when they ask me how to diminish self-grasping. So it is just as it is said in the 37 Bodhisattva practices, all suffering comes from wishing for one's own happiness.
숨 림바다를 빠이시 섬을 가리 림베이제 되잖아 이제 제바하게 다 뒤시 봐요 내라지래 대랑이 내용은 내라지래 다르바지 그러라고 세고 내로라고 그랬으나 이 내로 통수의 이실미인 거요 림바를 빠이시 미인 거요 그래서 상기라고 그래 사이시바지 이시바들이 라 탑재나 이시바지 뒤만 인데라 아들이 따와 또들이 탑재를 라 이시바 이거 이시 잘려 저랬더니 내가 고송소 용돈 저래게 렌트레나 막 이제 덕을 요래 이랑 이제 내색은 뭐래 많이 말해 라 이시바 잘려 오라지 샤로 요래 대외들이 다 당보 이바 봐 이시디 다통은 제비시 이제 트림바 라는 봐 제비시
There are three stages of mindful awareness, intrinsic awareness, and primordial wisdom. So when our mindful awareness abides without distraction, then that is intrinsic awareness. And from that arises the five wisdoms, and the five wisdoms are the five Buddhas. So that is the the Yidam deity, the wisdom being. And when one has understood or realized the ultimate view, then also one also understands that all beings are Yidam deities. So that is through the
그래서 이제 된다. 나는 봐. 제비시. 내가 이런 데 좀 세라. 그냥 말을 세워야 이게 과대 이제 세워야 돼서 누가 하고 그러 무슨 참아 하고 더 그러. 이제 봐.
시템바. So these three stages also relate to the basis or the ground, the path, and the fruition. So the basis is the mindful awareness. The path is one's intrinsic awareness, and the result of fruition is the primordial wisdom. And the primordial wisdom is also the ultimate truth.
말에 대 따뜻도 하고도 다들 미성성들 배를 내봐 짝주지다도 민강다도 통거리 오 대다를 배는 미성성들이 라게 득득이 종선 좀 아파 닥사를 민강이라고 차대요리 오 미성성 민강이라고 그래 어들이 더 짝주지들이 셉지다지 들이 셈나만 전이들이 타오니 이들이 상지 셉지다면 이제 상지해야지 이제 상지를 라면 상지 이제 상지해야 까와주고 그래서 들이 까와 지금 라한테 까와지면 말아리바가 까와 그래 잡을 까니까 세잡도 야 대다라한테 까와주고 많이나 들이 다서 성수는 내가 째기요 성수는 째요 성수 되게 라는 내가 갖다 공유성하는 몽족을 쪽들이 로아를 로게 능이들 용이들 박차듯이 다 고요래 그래서 도로에 와서 똑바로 다 고요래 다 고르스리 다 도라를 내가서 집에서 하면 봐서 이들이 다 정말들이 다 속상하게 고만 뭐람다다 따오는들이 뭐람도 섭지다고 상지어 성무자를 왕매 봐대 저밭에 다 정말들이 섭지다고 나 상지 먹고 나 남바 먹고 이제 살려 말이 이제 상지에 대답을 해줘서 오늘 성무자를 왕매 봐서 그래.
So in this way, I have explained this prayer of Kuntuzangpo to the best of my ability, but it is still important that you continue to engage in discussions on this topic. And it is also very important to understand that in the end, there's only one result. So all the 84,000 teachings of the Buddha can be summarized into bodhicitta, and bodhicitta consists of the relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. So relative bodhicitta means that we give rise to the four immeasurables: immeasurable love and compassion and so forth. And then by doing that, we come to an understanding of ultimate, or a realization of ultimate bodhicitta, which is the nature of our mind. So this is the topic of this Dzogchen prayer of Kuntuzangpo. And in the end here it says, the beings of the three realms will be gradually liberated from suffering through the prayer of the yogin and will finally achieve enlightenment. So here it is important to understand that sentient beings will be gradually liberated. So we should not think that when we recite this prayer, then all suffering must disappear right away. We will still see a lot of suffering, especially in the lower realms of samsara. But we will understand that these lower realms are actually just like a hospital or a place where one is purified, because here in the lower realms all the karmic obscurations and all the negativities of sentient beings are purified, and then they will gradually be liberated. So as the prayer has taught, the 6 realms of samsara come about through different afflictive emotions. So it is important that we purify the habitual tendencies that have been created through these afflictive emotions, because otherwise we will be reborn in the 6 realms of samsara. So this purification of habitual tendencies is just like washing our clothes. So our clothes have been need to be washed, and in the same way, these habitual tendencies to be born in the 6 realms have to be purified. And So here it says in the prayer, the beings of the three realms will be liberated from suffering. So that means that they, as it is said in the beginning of the prayer, samsaric sentient beings cannot resist but attain awakening. So even if they wouldn't want to attain awakening, or they would say, "Oh, I'm not a Buddhist" or something like that, they still would attain awakening without they having like no choice but to attain awakening. And so the Buddha, who is skilled in means, has taught us the way out of suffering, like the way where we don't have to experience suffering anymore. And one of these methods is the seven limbs or 7 branches. So with the 7 branches, we purify the afflictive emotions. And by that purification, then we will gradually attain liberation. So the 7 branches are a way to purify the 6 afflictive emotions. And they are directed towards the higher field, the field of merit. So all these are methods of the Dharma, like the Dharma methods. And Dharma, the word Dharma means to transform. So that is actually what happens here. So through the 7 branches, the 6 afflictive emotions are transformed. So that is the meaning of Dharma. And most importantly, we have to liberate ourselves from the causes of suffering. Because if we still accumulate the causes of suffering, then the results of these causes will also ripen. So we will still continue to experience suffering. Therefore, it is extremely important to think of the causes of suffering.
they are usually triple curry, some subject or cheated. There is a young other triple half or there are the Nadina Miki because now the Lacorco is a high general possible. The G out the Ramjig, Flagram, young other Larry, young other the Namely Chapa Side to tell us what they're in, taking some dingy or a penna. Took a tower, triple curd in the same thing, don't check your head. Penalty, send the triple curd. Garchen, yeah. Sing the triple curd. Sing no more jiggy, so chat to town, and what it is. Good the town, I got 7 job. Very colored and give at the so job to sing, don't watch it. Sing don't watch it, triple curd.
Drove tap de la drove sentient drove tap de la
Draw Tatela.
tempe drova
Tinton shooting tintor. Young Dorothy, mother of the Jimmy, young trovati. Takwe trovati, and Tak Dorothy dinner, Ayasama Yori, Takwe trovati. Only trovati the zone that I'm here, there's some here go to tap someone, there's some Tom Dollars of one, Tom Dorothy. The Bapton, Tom Dorothy, check up on something in the San Diego, but long time. There's some something dark on the chain of Yokoyori, Mango, Woody Yokoyori. Chatama Boni, my young Goyori, Boga, churching bottom day, churching Boga, the knee, Sanji, Pedong, the doors of Hantama, to put the Yori, Chatam to Boni and Goyori. That your merchant Sunday, churching was Bodi, the Chukupunga, the Sanji, to send up them Pedong, this of the Chukupunga Yori. Charani, and the Sanji, the Villa. I don't know.
So when we speak of liberating sentient beings, then there are various means to do that. In generally, they can all be summarized into the two truths. But then there are different ways of liberation. So there is, for instance, liberation through touch, and that is these little bracelets that we wear. Thank you. So that is liberation through touch. Then there is liberation through recollection, and that is, for instance, the stupas that let us recollect the qualities of the Buddha. Then there is liberation through tasting, and that is, for instance, the when we take mani pills. And then there's also liberation through seeing, like this liberation through seeing mantra that Rinpoche is wearing on his T-shirt. And so all of these are means to liberate sentient beings. And then there's also a tradition in Tibet where little forms of Buddhas are given into the river. Is that correct? Yeah. And put them into the river. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's this tradition of carving images into stones and then giving them into the 3 big rivers in Tibet. And in that way also the water becomes the Buddha. And for instance, the bracelets that we wear actually combine 2 of these means for liberation. On the inside, there is the liberation through touch mantra, and then on the outside, there's the liberation through seeing mantra. So, sorry. But we should not think that So we should not think that it works in the way that we just look at that mantra once and we immediately become liberated. That's not how it works. It is like we will slowly be liberated through looking at that. And also prayers are extremely important. So prayers such as the prayer for excellent conduct and so forth, all these prayers that we regularly recite here, they are extremely important. And here, like the most important thing is that we understand the meaning of the words in these prayers. And also when we talk about different kinds of generosity, then there's the generosity of giving the Dharma, or of also practicing the Dharma. So our practice is also the best, highest offering we can do. And practice, again, consists of decreasing our self-grasping. So the self-grasping is what we have to purify. And to meditate means nothing else than to purify self-grasping. So that is done through meditating on the four immeasurables, for instance. So these four immeasurables, if we practice them, they really have a great benefit. So in this way, I have today explained a few things about this prayer of Kuntuzangpo, but there might have been things that you have understood, and there might also be things where there is still where you still don't have understanding. So therefore, it is really important that you continue to engage in discussions with the Khenpos and also among each other. So this is the end of my explanations on the prayer of Kuntuzangpo and Tashi Delek. And especially it is a very precious opportunity that you can ask questions to Khenpo Yeshe, and there also no translation will be needed. So this is really a great opportunity to have him here.
Dedication prayers on page 13. No? Kuntuzangpo, sorry. The prayer of Kuntuzangpo on page 40 of the Blue Book. Ho, everything, appearance and existence, samsara and nirvana, has a single ground, yet two paths and two fruitions, and magically displays as awareness or unawareness. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all beings become Buddhas, completely perfected in the abode of Dharmadhatu. The ground of all is uncompounded, and the self-arising great expanse beyond expression has neither the name, samsara, nor nirvana. Realizing just this, you are a Buddha. Not realizing this, you are a being wandering in samsara. I pray that all you beings of the three realms may realize the true meaning of the inexpressible ground. I, Kuntuzangpo, have realized the truth of this ground, free from cause and condition, which is just this self-arising awareness. It is unstained by outer expression and inner thought, affirmation or denial, and is not defiled by the darkness of unmindfulness. Thus, this self-manifesting display is free from defects. I, Kuntuzangpo, abide as intrinsic awareness. Even though the three realms were to be destroyed, there is no fear. There is no attachment to the 5 desirable qualities of sense objects. In self-arising consciousness, free of thoughts, there is neither solid form nor the 5 poisons. In the unceasing clarity of awareness, singular in essence, there yet arises the display of the 5 wisdoms. From the ripening of these 5 wisdoms, the 5 original Buddha families emerge, and through the expanse of their wisdom, the 42 peaceful Buddhas appear. Through the arising power of the 5 wisdoms, the 60 wrathful Herukas manifest. Thus, the ground awareness is never mistaken or wrong. I, Kuntuzangpo, am the original Buddha of all, and through this prayer of mine, may all you beings who wander in the 3 realms of samsara realize this self-arising awareness, and may your great wisdom spontaneously increase. My emanations will continuously manifest in billions of unimaginable ways, appearing in forms to help you beings who can be trained. Through my compassionate prayer, may all you beings who wander in the 3 realms of samsara escape from the 6 life forms. From the beginning, you beings are deluded because you do not recognize the awareness of the ground. Being thus unmindful of what occurs is delusion, the very state of unawareness and the cause of going astray. From this delusive state comes a sudden fainting away, and then a subtle consciousness of wavering fear. From the wavering, there arises a separation of self and the perceptions of others as enemies. Gradually, the tendency of separation strengthens, and from this the circle of samsara begins. Then the emotions of the 5 poisons develop. The actions of these emotions are endless. You beings lack awareness because you are unmindful, and this is the basis of your going astray. Through my prayer, may all you beings recognize your intrinsic awareness. Innate unawareness means unmindfulness and distraction. Imputing unawareness means dualistic thoughts toward self and others. Both kinds of unawareness are the basis for the delusions of all beings. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all you beings wandering in samsara clear away the dark fog of unmindfulness, clear away the clinging thoughts of duality. May you recognize your own intrinsic awareness. Dualistic thoughts create doubt. From subtle attachment to this dualistic turn of mind, dualistic tendencies become stronger and thicker. Food, wealth, clothes, home, and friends, the 5 objects of the senses, and your beloved family, all these things cause torment by creating longing and desire. These are all worldly delusions. The activities of grasping and clinging are endless. When the fruition of attachment ripens, you are born as a hungry ghost, tormented by coveting and desiring, miserable, starving, and thirsty. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all you desirous and lustful beings who have attachments neither reject longing desires nor accept attachment to desires. Let your consciousness relax in its own natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. May you achieve the wisdom of perfect discernment. When external objects appear, the subtle consciousness of fear will arise. From this fear, the habit of anger becomes stronger and stronger. Finally, hostility comes, causing violence and murder. When the fruition of this anger ripens, you will suffer in hell by boiling and burning. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, you beings of the 6 realms, when strong anger arises for you, Neither reject nor accept it. Instead, relax in the natural state and achieve the wisdom of clarity. When your mind becomes full of pride, there will arise thoughts of competition and humiliation. As the pride becomes stronger and stronger, you will experience the suffering of quarrels and abuse. When the fruition of this karma ripens, you will be born in the God realms and experience the suffering of change and falling to lower rebirths. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may you beings who develop pride, let your consciousness relax in the natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. May you achieve the wisdom of equanimity. By increasing the habit of duality, by praising yourself and denigrating others, your competitive mind will lead you to jealousy and fighting, and you will be born in the jealous God realms, where there is much killing and injury. From the result of that killing, you will fall into the hell realm. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, when jealousy and competitive thoughts arise, do not grasp them as enemies. Just relax in ease. Then consciousness can hold its own natural state. May you achieve the wisdom of unobstructed action. By being distracted, careless, and unmindful, you beings will become dull, foggy, and forgetful. By being unconscious and lazy, you will increase your ignorance, and the fruition of this ignorance will be to wander helplessly in the animal realm. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all you beings who have fallen into the dark pit of ignorance shine the light of mindfulness and thereby achieve the wisdom free from thought. All you beings of the three realms are actually identical to Buddhas, the ground of all. But your misunderstanding of the ground causes you to go astray, so you act without aim. The 6 karmic actions are a delusion, like a dream. I am the primordial Buddha here to train the 6 kinds of beings through all my manifestations. Through Kuntuzangpo's prayer, may all you beings without exception attain enlightenment in the state of Dharmadhatu. Aho! Hereafter, whenever a very powerful yogin, with his or her awareness radiant and free from delusion, recites this very powerful prayer, then all who hear it will achieve enlightenment within 3 lifetimes. During a solar or lunar eclipse, during an earthquake, or when the earth rumbles, at the solstices or the new year, you should visualize Kuntuzangpo. And if you pray loudly so all can hear, the beings of the 3 realms will be gradually liberated from suffering through the prayer of the yogin and will finally achieve enlightenment. Page 13.
So Tashidilek to all my Dharma friends on the live stream, and may precious bodhicitta
Arise and grow.
arise where it has not yet arisen.
Increase more and more.
1-1. Maybe we read that together.
Okay. Page number 19. No.
13.
I don't know.
No. It's on 28.
28.
May bodhicitta,
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase, higher and higher.
So this concludes our winter event.
All finished a little early. So we, on behalf of all of your students here and online, Garchen Rinpoche, we thank you from the bottom of our primordial wisdom hearts for all of your incredible vast wisdom and compassion to help us wake up. So we're so grateful. Thank you so much. And this offering is on behalf of the Institute and all the students here. Thank you. We want to thank Khenpo Yeshe for answering all our questions. So, with so much clarity and compassion, and really so helpful on all levels. We're really very grateful for you coming, and thank you so much, and we hope you come again.
Yeah, I will.
We want to thank Drupal Rinchen Dorje Rinpoche for coming and attending our Mani Drupchen and for guiding our 3-year retreatants. And we're so grateful always for you being here. Thank you. And we also want to thank Lopan Thupten Nima for coming to Umse for our Mani Drupchen, or Drup show. And you always do such a beautiful, inspirational chants for us. So thank you so much. And we want to thank our Garchen Institute Lamas for attending and making everything more powerful. Khenpo Tenzin and Khenpo Tupsang, Lama Bunima and Lama Abu, and thank you to our visiting Lama, Lama Alton, and thank you to Ani Dagme for all your chopening, and thank you Darcy for doing the saying. And we want to thank everybody here for making the trip to attend in person. It's been a really wonderful, beautiful event. You all have been extremely helpful. We also want to thank Kathleen for doing the Qigong teachings on the Mani Mantra. Everybody absolutely loved it. It was very powerful and profound. And thank you to Tony, to your helper, for helping. And we also want to thank Katrine for coming all the way from Germany to translate. You did a wonderful job. We're all so happy. Thank you. And of course, these events never work without everybody pitching in and working really hard. So thank you to the staff. Thank you to all our volunteers. Thank you everyone for doing your karma yoga part to make it all work really beautifully. And now I think we're going to wrap it up here because Rinpoche was on his way out. Okay? All right. Thank you all. One last thing, all the offerings that are being made include all the offerings that you all made. So just so all of the lamas know, and teachers, volunteers, translators, these are offerings from everybody here too, as well as GBI. Thank you.